90. Triple Trio, race 4, 3-6-13, race 5, 1-5-11, race 6, 1-4-5, 1,655,625. And the consolation with the field in the 6th race, 13,847 for today's Triple Trio. There is a Triple Trio jackpot of 993,374 carried forward to the Triple Trio jackpot reserve. So keep an eye out for the announcement regarding that Triple Trio jackpot going forward. Decent jackpot as well. Just shy of $1 million Hong Kong dollars. 24.17, standard's 23.70, 22.02, 22.35 is the standard, and 22 flat when standard is 22.95. They run the race in 108.19, standard is 109 for race 6.
Welcome along into the parade ring here as we gear up for our feature event this afternoon, the 2026 BMW Hong Kong Derby, the 149th running. It's great to have Jenny Chapman alongside me and Nick Luck. And Nick, welcome along to you, one of the richest derbies on the planet. Where does you visit many derbies, go to them? Where does this derby stack up in terms of those affairs?
Well, it's the first derby I've attended, and it's great to be here. And what I've come to realise during the course of this week is just what this race means if you are a local owner here. It is everything. 149th running of it, so much prestige, so much heritage. You only get one chance to do it, of course, as you do with every derby. And it's been the race that's launched the modern superstars as well, Golden 60, Romantic Warrior, Voyage, Bubble. So I'm just excited to see who can break through today.
It's such an even field, Jenny. Of course, the 4-year-old series, the mile into the Cup. Too Good was Little Paradise in the mile, and then the Cup went to Stormy Grove, who was a horse that sort of got late into that series off the back of a great win over 1,600 metres.
Well, he's just coming good at the right time, isn't he, Stormy Grove? And the way that he did win last time, I think he's a legitimate chance in this race as well. Really nice horse. He's sort of developed. He's very strong. He had a good grounding back in Australia when he was trained by Patrick Payne as well. So I think this horse could go very, very close here this afternoon. Having said that, I've got plenty of time for Little Paradise and Numbers as well.
Yeah, Numbers, he's a horse, Nick, that shouldn't have any concerns with the 2,000 metres. He's been up to 2,400 metres, gone close in derbies in Australia, and he looks a great chance despite barrier 13.
Yeah, all shapes and sizes this field. You know, you've got Little Juno Pride, who's probably the smallest horse in the race. Numbers, probably one of the biggest horses in the race. Quite an imposing, fine sort of horse. He does look like a distance athlete as well. Long, rangy, quite impressive, scopy. Put that stride to good use. I still think they'll drive forward from 13, Jenny, don't you?
I think they will. I'm sure they will. And he is a really good-looking type as well, Numbers. So I would expect him to go forward. If he gets an easy enough time of things, you know he's going to stay. He's proven overseas that he will. So it's tough effort last time, Nick. Did you would have seen that. They went so quick, and he stuck on gamely at the end.
He's very honest. My issue today is whether he gets a bit of pace pressure from an outsider, someone who's kind of chancing their arm, will go forward, might maximise our chances. A horse like Seraph Gabriel, for example, who's drawn one to the inside of Numbers. I wonder whether he might just give him a bit of pressure early under Zach.
Yeah, could quite do. Back to your earlier comment about the size and shapes of them, and yes, we do have quite a variety here, as I've seen before with these horses, but we've also had a variety in the winners that we've had over the years. There's been certain horses that are quite small and are capable over these distances. There've been others that really look the part and can do the job as well.
And there's quite a few horses in here whose stamina is a little bit suspect. And we're thinking, right, what sort of horse are we going to try and make this into? Are they going to end up coming back to 1,200 or 1,400, or are they actually a proper distance horse?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, if you're talking about a horse like Juno Pride, who's the 1400, he's had plenty of racing, he had a lot of wins, he's very genuine. He was really strong at the end of that last race that he was in. So whether or not this is going to suit him or not, we don't know. We're going to have to wait and find out.
And of course, as we bring in Paul Lally and Nick Child, we've got horses like Top Dragon and also Emblazoned. He's the winning most horse here in Hong Kong this season. He's won 5, and they come through a totally different path to this year's Derby.
They do indeed, and that's the beauty of this race, Tom, I suppose, given that it is the final leg, that it sort of draws them from different corners, doesn't it? Some fall by the wayside and others make their way up, and it's a fascinating race in that respect, Paul.
Yeah, definitely, and Emblazoned is going to be right there. I think he's one of these ones Nick was talking about that can be on the pace. Emblazoned, I mean, he's got speed over 12 and 1400 metres, so he's going to be right there.
Well, we've got runners on parade. We'll start with horse number 5 here, Jenny, Invincible Ibis, who's well fancied for this year's Derby.
Yeah, he's a very fit-looking horse. He's got plenty of scope. He's a really athletic type. Behaving himself nicely, just having a look at the camera beside him, which is just making him more aware than normal. But he looks really fit and healthy and nicely presented here from the Mark Newnham yard. So if luck goes his way, he's nicely drawn in gate 3. He might get a nice run, and he could run a race too. It was a good effort last time.
I think that'll really suit him, Nick. Hugh Bowman's racing style as well as riding style, the low draw.
He figures to get a perfect trip, doesn't he? Perfect stalking trip, and this is the horse who's likely to make it numbers. Will definitely stay, Jenny. That we know for sure.
Yeah, we certainly do. So I will get across to him. Numbers, he's, if I don't run into 1,000 people here, which I'm about to. I'm really taken by this horse as far as type goes. He's got plenty of scope. He's a really athletic type. He's also got some very good strength too. 1,228 pounds is what he weighs in at. Now, they bandage him on his bumpers, which is not unusual. He's nice and relaxed. He looks healthy. He's got really strong hindquarters on him as well. So he's paraded beautifully from the Frankie Law yard.
There's his connections, the Frankie Law Trainer Syndicate. They've got a couple of nice ones at the moment. Of course, Sell on S is another one of those, but they line up numbers here in the Derby. Here's the favourite, Little Paradise. He's currently at 3.4. This a big career moment, Jenny, for Jimmy Ting. He's sitting down towards the bottom of the Trainers' Championship on 11 wins, but he just didn't jump last time out.
Yeah, look, what a beautiful horse he is, and what a fairy tale story to be if Jimmy was able to win this. Of course, he was a former jockey here in Hong Kong. Been training a while, but this horse is probably the best horse he's ever laid hands on. Beautifully presented, I've got to say. So well done to the team there. He looks great. His coat's magnificent. You can see the dapples over it. He looks fit, healthy, strong, and well. He's in good condition.
Well, he's officially the best horse in the race as things stand. It's just a question of whether others have got scope to improve past him.
My concern was just jumping today, close to the grandstands, a lot of noise. He was nervous last time out. Jimmy Ting has schooled him in the gates. He said he will jump. He's confident he will jump today.
He'll need to from trap 10, otherwise he could get a horrible position into that first turn. Very short run into the first bend, of course, 2,000 metres here. Here's Stormy Grove. I think this is the likeliest winner. Just think he showed the most explosive brilliance last time. You're looking for a horse who's coming at the right time, Jenny, aren't you? Oh yeah, look, he's a lovely, sensible type of horse. He's strong. He's got some size about him. He's got good body strength, and he just walks out nice and casually, not moved by the moment at this stage either. So he's in really good nick. He looks well.
Yeah, they've changed the racing style of him, Nick, and he seemed to settle better, and he's come with that one big burst down the outside. Best final 400 last time out. There's a lot to like about him, although the Classic Cup doesn't have a good record of producing Derby winners. No,
and you know, you're always worried if you've really exploded onto the scene about a horse's cyclical form and the possibility that they'll bounce next time. I'm taking a chance that he's just improving faster than some of the others.
Sagacious Life, Jenny, and Patch of Cosmo are now. So we'll go to Patch of Cosmo. We'll come back to Sagacious Life. He's been improving each and every start. Tough win first up with a big weight.
It really was, yes. Look, it had a few issues, and they've nursed him back to health, and this horse looks in terrific order. He's bandaged in front. Now, you can see he's not totally smooth in front. He does require a loosen up in that area. He's a very strong-bodied horse. He's sensible. Coat looks good. I think he's just going to walk like this for a while because he did have a tendon injury, so I'm not overly concerned about that. He was able to win first up, so you can probably ignore it, but that's just how he presents.
Dylan Brown McMonagle, how good?
Oh, he's been so good. Irish champion jockey, brilliant last year, and he's fitted into Hong Kong like a glove, and we know how difficult that is. Here's Beauty Bolt. They weren't too happy with the draw for Beauty Bolt. Is he quite good enough?
A big query, I suppose, on the 2,000 metres here. The 1,800 last start, he finished in 7th position, and look, he didn't get away great, but to look at, he's actually dropped a few more pounds here. Only a couple, the scales say, but he's as lean and fit as you'd want to see him. Very strong in the shoulder, though, and chest area there. A nice, healthy-looking coat. He does walk out fluently, so he's very, very fit-looking.
Here's emblazoned. He's never raced past 1,400 metres, so 2,000 metres would have to be a big question mark, Jenny, but he's won 5 this season, so you cannot argue the form he's in.
No, he's been in terrific form, and Cody's done a great job with him. Now, he lacks a little bit of scope, and he's not the standout type. He's about your average height. He's quite high in the hindquarters as compared to his wither there. He's bandaged in front. I think he's walking out okay. He gets a pass, but I've got others in front of him.
He's going to have to massively outrun his pedigree, isn't he, in Blaze? And this is an interesting horse, I think, Top Dragon. I think Andrea Adzani is going to have to ride him for luck. I know Connections were keen that he didn't get trapped down on the rail, but I don't see he's got an awful lot of choice.
Well, they've had the synthetic hooves on this horse for a little while, so they've obviously had a few little hoof issues with him. He has nicely drawn gate number 1 here, so he's likely to get a really nice run on the fence. To look at, he's very placid and relaxed. He needs a little loosening up in front, but I think generally speaking, he's quite good. So I'll leave him on a place line.
Over the 1,400 metres, he's always been one of those horses, and over the 1,600 metres, he's been one of those types that has always sort of just missed, and he's always running on at the end. I think another one that's suspect here, Jenny, at the trip is Regal Gem. Frankie Law, Alexi Bedell. He's had a trial on the all-weather over 1,650.
Yeah, look, he's a small horse. He's quite a neat type, though. He's just down the other end of the parade, so I need to lay eyes on him one more time. He's 3 wins being at the Valley, so it's probably going to test him here and the distance as well. But to look at, he's about to come in my direction now. He's got those synthetic hooves. Sorry, no, he hasn't got those synthetic hooves. I'm looking at the wrong horse. This one. He is walking out freely enough. He's nice and healthy. He's strong enough in the chest. He looks well. There's nothing wrong with him.
There's a nice little horse, Juno Pride. Super tough, super consistent. Has earned his place here, but in reality, just shouldn't be good enough.
Yeah, look, you would think so, but he is trained by the master trainer in John Size, Keith Young, to ride, so it's nice to see Keith getting a ride in this race. He's been a very consistent horse, but all his wins have been the 1,400. I thought he finished off his race really well. He was well in front for quite some time after that most recent race, after they went past the post. So I'm interested to see how he does perform. I don't think he's good enough, but he's walking out well. He does look very fit.
Second-year trainer in Hong Kong is David Eustace. He's got dazzling fits here, Nick, and Luke Ferraris, barrier 14 for the 2nd year in a row.
That's horrible, admittedly, but I do think he's a horse who could run a sneaky good race. He didn't get much luck in the Classic Cup, but he virtually finished on the bridle. He won't have taken much out of himself, and he's probably peaking at the right time. Yeah, and there's his stablemate, Jenny, Seraph Gabriel.
Yeah, so the dazzling fit looks really well. He's always been a very nice type, and he hasn't had the best of luck in his races. I thought he was probably there with the chance the way he presented. Seraph Gabriel is a horse that he's quite a stocky type of horse. He lacks a little bit of scope. He carries a bit of weight around the midsection. Attitude is good, though, and he looks healthy enough in his coat. A ride for Zach Purton here, awkwardly drawn in gate 12. I've probably got a few others in front of him, but he's not a bad type.
He's over 20 to 1. There's probably some Purton money there. It's too tough, isn't it?
It's 1 good run here and 2 not very good runs. I think Connections think he's a bit timid, which is why I think they're going to drive forward with him. There's Pope Cody.
Pope Cody just about to head in my direction, so I need to lay eyes on this horse. He's off a rating of 76, so it's probably going to be a really tough assignment for him, I would have thought here. It's probably just a bridge too far for him. Now, just bear with me because I have not seen him, so he's heading towards me now. Ooh, someone kick out there? I'm not sure. Okay, so he is bandaged on his front legs. He's nicely enough behaved with his 2 handlers. He's tall. He's sweating up a little bit around the flank area, but his coat's okay. He's just shedding his winter coat there. I think he looks okay, but I've got others in front of him.
Well done to the Marfu there with the Patch of Cosmo, a best turned out horse here for the BMW Hong Kong Derby. Patch of Cosmo. Well done to the stable staff there of Manfred Mann. We'll come back to Jenny shortly and get a roundup on the top 4. Get a market update shortly from Paul, but it is now time to hear from Jack Dorling. He's got a special guest as we build up to the Derby.
Go. I'm here with Frankie Law ahead of the BMW Hong Kong Derby. Frankie, 3 runners. We'll start with numbers. He's drawn barrier 13. Do you think he's still got sights on the lead from there?
I think so, because he got some speed. I think should be. If the other one want to lead, we can sit second, third, fourth. Doesn't matter, yeah.
And how's he done since his 4th in the Classic Cup?
He's okay. Only a little bit quick, as I say, in the early stage. And then I think Derek, he will learn something from the last race. So he will learn how to ride this race. Yeah.
You've got one horse who's going to be at the front, one at the back with Stormy Grove. You must be really looking forward to seeing him here over 2000.
Yes, and I think he just need to relax him, and then he should have a strong finish, yeah, as last time.
And Regal Gem, how do you assess his chances here today?
This one, I think if he can relax him, maybe he can also will close. I'm not sure he can win the race because first time 2000, but last start he's finished third in 1600. I think he won good, and maybe he will close. Yeah.
And go on, Frankie. Out of the 3, which one do you think has the best chance?
Both. Is that okay?
That's good. That's good. Well, best of luck here, Frankie.
Thank you.
Thank you to Jack, and thank you to Frankie for joining us. He didn't want to hang his hat on one particular horse.
He hung his hat on numbers at the barrier draw, even when he'd drawn 13. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think he's wrong, but
time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. What about from the paddock, Jenny? Who are the best-looking 4-year-olds here?
Look, there's nothing really between number 1 and 2. That is Little Paradise and Numbers. Gee, they both presented beautifully here. They're such lovely-looking horses. So I'm going to go with the 1 on top of number 2, and then the 3, Stormy Grove, has stepped up to the plate as well. He looks fantastic. And I thought number 12 looked really well. I've always given him a good rap. That's Dazzling Fit. So he presented really nicely here as well. So 1, 2, 3, and 12 for me.
1, 2, 3 and a 12. Before we head up to Mark, let's head over to Paul for a market update on the BMW Hong Kong Derby.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, Little Paradise, a 3.6 favourite from numbers 5.3, Stormy Grove 6.4, Sagacious Life 20, 6.3 Invincible Ibis, 12 Petra Cosmo, 28 Beauty Bolt, 12 Emblazon, 19 Top Dragon, 44 Regal Gem, Janu Pride 38, 40 Dazzling Fit, 23 Seraph Gabriel, and Pope Cody at 43.
Thank you, Paul. There are all the silks of this year's 4-year-olds competing in the Derby of 2026. As we come to you, Mark, gates in front of the stands here for the 2,000-metre contest in front of a massive crowd here today.
Hope they take those colours down before jump time, Tom. Hard to see out the window at the moment. On the 6 here, which is Patch of Cosmo. Paul's going to make a strong case for him shortly, but he's had 14 starts. He's won 5 of them, but to win first up after about 10 months away from the track and beat Aerodynamics, he's gone on to run 9th behind Little Paradise in the Classic Mile and then 3rd in the Classic Cup. 2,000 metres looks absolutely ideal for him. 12 and 3.3. This could cap what's been an excellent stint in Hong Kong for Dylan Brown-McMonagle. So 6 Patch of Cosmo on top to beat number 1 Little Paradise. Funny run in the Classic Cup. He missed the start. Looked like he was going to run last the 200 metres, but hit the line as well as anything. Number 2 Numbers. He's won over 2,000 metres. That was going back to his 2nd start in Hong Kong. He beat Winning Wing, who's been very hard to beat over 2,000 metres. Indeed, as Group 1 placed over 2,000 metres now. He did run 4th behind Stormy Grove. He had an easy lead over 2,000. They've been fast leads over 1,800 metres since. And 5 Invincible Ibis. Can't really call him the forgotten horse at 6.3 and 2.1. But he did run 2nd in the Classic Cup behind Stormy Grove. He goes to 2,000 metres. Cheek pieces come off, and he gets a nice draw. 6, 1, 2 and 5, Paul, for the Derby.
Yeah, I'm with the 6 as well. He just keeps improving. The 2,000 looks ideal. Barrier 6 looks ideal as well. The 2 Numbers there, I think he'll go straight to the front. He's going to be tough to beat. The 8 Emblazon in there for 3rd. He's the one outside the square because he's stepping up from 1,400 for the first time. And then the 12 Dazzling Fit, I'm going to put him in as well. He'll need luck from barrier 14, but another one looks like 2,000 will be ideal. 6, 2, 8 and 12.
Yeah, I've gone the way of 2 on top here, and Numbers. Always been a fan of him. He just needs to be well rated in front. He doesn't want to go too slow. If I think he goes too slow, they'll come out and around them, and a few will get momentum on him. So Numbers on top, he should stay certainly all day. Invincible Ibis has got a great draw to figure here. Patch of Cosmo as well, and also number 3 Stormy Grove off the Classic Cup last time out. 2, 5, 6 and 3. A recap of Nick Child's numbers coming up on screen in a moment. Jenny, and a recap from the paddock, please.
2, 3 and 12. I thought Little Paradise presented beautifully from the Jimmy Ting yard, as did Numbers from Frankie Laws. He looks terrific. He's a lovely looking horse. He's likely to go forward. If he can get across easy enough before that first turn, he's going to give you a pretty good side. He's a tough customer, and you know he's going to run it out. I thought the 3 looked really good too. Stormy Grove, an impressive last start winner, and the 12 Dazzling Fit. He hasn't had a great deal of luck, and his drawn gate 14 is not ideal from this particular start either. So he's going to need a lot to go his way, but he presented beautifully. So 1, 2, 3 and 12. Nick, hard question for you. Who's going to win?
I think Stormy Grove's going to win. And I don't mind if they go a good, honest pace as well. I'd like the race to be cut open for him, and I think Numbers and Seraph Gabriel might do that. So Stormy Grove to come through and win, establish that quality he showed last time. I think Invincible Ibis is a very solid choice to run placed. Little Paradise, we know how good that horse is. I would have Numbers in the 3 were it not for the fact I think he could get some pressure from his wide gate. I still think he'll stick on and finish in the first 4 or 5. But I've gone 3, 5, 1, 2.
One final question for you, Nick. Yeah. What would it mean to someone like Harry Bentley to pick up a massive race like this, because he's won feature races all different parts of the world, the Middle East, the UK. What would a Derby mean to Harry?
Massive, I think. Massive. I think he and Andrea Razzani have done so well here in Hong Kong. They love it here. They've really integrated well. They've made terrific careers, the pair of them. And I think for either of them to get on the board here would be massive.
Yeah, I tend to agree, as you say, Nick, because I spoke to Lorraine, his wife, after they won the Classic Cup, and she said, you just don't know how much that means to us. So to win this would be even that step up.
Yeah, they're not married yet. I mean, who knows?
Sorry.
If it
I thought they were.
if it happens today, who knows?
Yes, it could happen, for sure.
There is on screen Regal Gem in the gates. So thanks for joining us on the telecast this afternoon. Nick Luck, our special guest here at Sha Tin this afternoon. Last look at the market, Paul, before runners are called into the gates here for the Derby.
Yeah, look, Little Paradise looks like he's going to start favourite for the 2026 Derby here at 3.3. Numbers of 5.3, 6.3 Stormy Grove. So all the action at the top with the higher rated horses. Invincible Ibis next at 6.4. Next is Petra Cosmo at 12, 14 about him Blazing. So he's given a bit of a chance. Now there's some exotics going through the 12, which is Dazzling Fit. He's into 35 to 1, 9.1 a place. And see if Luke Ferraris can go one better than last year from the same barrier draw on him. But he's been back for just about every runner in exotic. So that's where the late money's going with him. We did play with Numbers with a couple of roughies there, Petra Cosmo and Blazing, both at double figures. But at this stage, Little Paradise looks like he's going to start favourite.
And you look, Jenny, through the market is now a Top Dragon is green lamped at 14 to 1. There's some big prices for some nice up-and-coming horses here. Like, I know he's drawn wide, but Dazzling Fit at 37s and 9. His run was terrific last time out.
Yeah, it was really good. Well, you can understand why. He's drawn gate 14 here, so it's going to be really tough for him. But he never runs a bad race, and he's had a lot of not chances in his race because he's just been unlucky numerous occasions. So I think he could run a race if luck was to go his way. But they're all good horses here, Tom. So yes, there's a whole lot of talent. Who's going to step up? Not sure, but really been over this type of distance, handle that step up in distance here today.
One we haven't really talked about, Paul, is Sagacious Life. He, of course, won first up. He won third up, both those 1,600 metres. First up, he had no weight on his back. He's obviously got that roaring condition. New rider, Karis Teton, he's 24 to 1. What did you think of him this afternoon?
Yeah, look, the roaring worries me. He ran last time, and I just wonder if everything's okay internally with him. I mean, if it is, you know, obviously these horses can run pretty good races, but you need everything spot on for the Derby, and it just worries me a little bit with that condition that he's had.
I think, Jenny, from memory, you mentioned for that first win here in Hong Kong, he was fairly well screwed down for that, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, look, he was. He's a roarer, so internally has to be a bit of a query. Prior to coming here, his runs in Brazil were very, very good at a high level over distance. So he's definitely a capable horse. He's just had those issues, so hopefully he can bounce back from that. That losing margin last time, it wasn't as bad as it appears on paper. He was really eased down when he copped a check.
He did cop a nasty check there over the final stages. There's Tony Speechley, the starter on the rostrum. Runners are being called up in front of the stand. stands here at Sharjah. You can certainly see there's plenty of people here. The grandstands are full. The favourite is Little Paradise, but there's still more money coming for Top Dragon, Jenny, and he's got barrier number 1. Looks like he's going to get a perfect run through from there. They probably didn't. Connections want barrier number 1, but it's going to give him an economical run.
Oh, it certainly is. And if you go back to his classic mile run, he probably should have finished second there. He didn't have the best of luck. So he's been a pretty handy type of horse. He looks genuine. And as you say, he's going to get himself a really nice run from gate number 1.
Just got a shot there of Invincible Ibis. Mark Newnham off a 5-timer midweek at Happy Valley. He went oh so close in the Derby last year. Of course, with My Wish from barrier 14, he's come up with barrier number 3 for the Ibis Syndicate, who are the connections here of Invincible Ibis. Not many left to load away for the final leg of the 4-year-old Classic Series for 2026. Your race caller is Mark McNamara for the 149th edition of the BMW Hong Kong Derby.
Thank you, Tom, as you join us. Numbers goes in. The Classic Cup winner Stormy Grove has made his way into the gates, and that'll leave just Little Paradise to follow Top Dragon into the stalls. Once in a lifetime glory awaits for one of these 4-year-olds. It is the race that they all want to win. These Hong Kong owners ready for the BMW Hong Kong Derby, and they're racing. Stormy Grove only about the last 2 or 3 out of the gates in blaze, and numbers began well. So too Sagacious Life and Janu Pride's in the first 4. Top Dragons on the rail. Seraph Gabriel going up wide out from Invincible Ibis and Beauty Bolt. Then Patch of Cosmo from Regal Gem. Little Paradise 3 wide from his draw into that first turn. Stormy Grove, Dazzling Fit and Pope Cody the last few. Out by the 1550 metre mark, and Numbers was able to roll across from barrier number 13, and he takes the Derby field to the back of the Shingmun River and leads the first of the Mark Chan runners. Seraph Gabriel second, Sagacious Life is 3 away third. 2 lengths to Janu Pride from Top Dragon. In Blazon next, he's wide from Invincible Ibis. Midfield and 1 off the rail. Regal Gem against the inside from Beauty Bolt following in Blazon. Then Patch of Cosmo, Dazzling Fit, Little Paradise, Stormy Grove and Pope Cody is last. First split 25.51, that's fast. Second 23.75, that's half. That's fast as well. It's a true staying test in the Derby. And the leader is Numbers. He's going to keep them running here, Derek Long. He gets 3 in front at the 750. Seraph Gabriel second. Third Sagacious Life and 4th Janu Pride. Top Dragon 50 inside. Then Invincible Ibis, Regal Gem the rail. Next Patch of Cosmo from In Blazon. Little Paradises 12 off the lead from Dazzling Fit, Stormy Grove, Beauty Bolt and Pope Cody. Numbers at the 400 metre mark. 2 lengths Seraph Gabriel, Janu Pride next. Then came Top Dragon, and Invincible Ibis is making steady ground from Patch of Cosmo. The leader is Numbers. The Ibis though, he's dropped upon them. Invincible Ibis ran to the lead from Numbers. Seraph Gabriel, Stormy Grove is flying home. It's Invincible Ibis. It's Derby redemption for Mark Newnham. Invincible Ibis won it and beat home Numbers and Stormy Grove. Then Patch of Cosmo, Pope Cody. Next in Seraph Gabriel, followed by Janu Pride, Dazzling Fit, and then came Top Dragon, Little Paradise, Regal Gem, Sagacious Life flopped and beat in Beauty Bolt, and in Blazon went wide, didn't run the trip and ran a long last. Invincible Ibis number 5. Hugh Bowman and Mark Newnham at 5.5 and 1.9 has beaten Numbers number 2, Derek Long and Frankie Law at 1.8. And 3, Stormy Grove, Harry Bentley and Frankie Law third at 2.2 apiece. Hugh Bowman, there was a smile before the post. And the big man salutes. Invincible Ibis, 10 starts, 5 wins. He's joined in at the top of the straight. Numbers, obviously Derek thought my best chance is to just run them into the deck here, and it's all but worked. Stormy Grove's been massive. Patch of Cosmo's run 4th. 5, 2, 3 and 6, the numbers are in the frame. There's some likely lads that own this horse. There's a big party coming up here, and Mark Newnham's had to wait 12 months after going so close last year. Well, this year he can start celebrating. Well, he could have started celebrating 150 metres out. It's 1 1/4 by a short head. 1:59.43 is the winner's time. Standards 2 minutes 0.5. And the Ibis returns, and here is Nick with the Derby winner for 2026 for BMW. It's Hugh Bowman.
Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, Hugh Bowman coming back now to join me. Hugh, many congratulations. 2 Derbies are nice, 3 is a lot sweeter. Well done.
Nick, thank you, and thank you to Mark and the team for preparing this horse in such magnificent order. Like, he really did peak this afternoon, and you know, the distance was a query, no doubt about it, but he came through with flying colours, and he just gave me the sweetest ride throughout the entire trip. And we were aided by a good draw, of course, but the horse won with authority, and I'm so proud to have won my 3rd BMW Hong Kong Derby.
Hugh, many congratulations. Enjoy this, and a great horse and a great trainer as well.
Thanks, Nick.
3 Hong Kong Derbies for Hugh Bowman, a first Derby for Mark Newnham. For the Ibis Syndicate, it's 5, 2, 3 and 6, 159.43. They ran along there, and Hugh Bowman, she's apples after Invincible Ibis, takes the Derby.
The gates in blaze and numbers began well. So too Sagacious Life and Janu Pride's in the first 4. Top Dragons on the rail. Seraph Gabriel going up wide out from Invincible Ibis and Beauty Bolt. Then Patch of Cosmo from Regal Gem. Little Paradise 3 wide from his draw into that first turn. Stormy Grove, Dazzling Fit and Pope Cody the last few. Out by the 1550 metre mark, and Numbers was able to roll across from barrier number 13, and he takes the Derby field to the back of the Shingmun River and leads the first of the Mark Chan runners. Seraph Gabriel second, Sagacious Life is 3 away third. 2 lengths to Janu Pride from Top Dragon. In Blazon next, he's wide from Invincible Ibis. Midfield and 1 off the rail. Regal Gem against the inside from Beauty Bolt following in Blazon. Then Patch of Cosmo, Dazzling Fit, Little Paradise, Stormy Grove and Pope Cody is last. First split 25.51, that's fast. Second 23.75, that's half. That's fast as well. It's a true staying test in the Derby. And the leader is Numbers. He's going to keep them running here, Derek Long. He gets 3 in front of the 750. Seraph Gabriel second. Third Sagacious Life and 4th Janu Pride. Top Dragon 50 inside. Then Invincible Ibis, Regal Gem the rail. Next Patch of Cosmo from In Blazon. Little Paradises 12 off the lead from Dazzling Fit, Stormy Grove, Beauty Bolt and Pope Cody. Numbers at the 400 metre mark. 2 lengths Seraph Gabriel, Janu Pride next. Then came Top Dragon, and Invincible Ibis is making steady ground from Patch of Cosmo. The leader is Numbers. The Ibis though, he's dropped upon them. Invincible Ibis ran to the lead from Numbers. Seraph Gabriel, Stormy Grove is flying home. It's Invincible Ibis. It's Derby redemption for Mark Newnham. Invincible Ibis won it.
And it's once in a lifetime glory for the Ibis Syndicate. There is Numbers. Great run from the Stormy Grove. He was near last on the home turn. Patch of Cosmo running 4th, and one of those horses that was up on the pace there, Seraph Gabriel from Pope Cody, rounding out the top 6 from back on the inside there as they've run on by Top Dragon. But as Mark said in the call there, Jenny, redemption for Mark Newnham. He went down a pimple in this race last year, and Invincible Ibis, he's seen out the 2,000 metres best of all.
Oh, he certainly has, and what a ride. That was an incredible ride from Hugh Bowman. Such a superb job from gate number 3. The horse just travelled beautifully midfield, 1 off the fence there, and he got the clear run, and just too strong over the concluding stages. When you're hot, you're really hot. Mark Newnham hot off 5 winners on Wednesday evening, and getting the Hong Kong Derby here today. Trainer is just on fire.
He certainly is, and he's chasing down that Trainers' Championship this season as well. He probably thought, Paul, the week couldn't get any better with 5 winners midweek, but boy, oh boy, it's got better today.
It has, hasn't it? And well deserved, this horse. 55.50 and 19. 18 for Numbers. He just went too quick once again. Just picked up late, and then 22.50 for Stormy Grove coming from the back. Quinella 2 and 5, 159.50. The forecast 349. Trio 235, 243. The test 523, 1,666. Great training performance by Invincible Ibis. I mean, the only doubts was the distance, but he put that all to bed here this afternoon.
It certainly did, and just on numbers, Ginny, it was a 25.51 first section. He's gone about 2 lengths quicker than standard there, and just continue picked up the tempo, and that's ultimately been his downfall here this afternoon.
Look, he's such a tough racehorse, no doubt about it. You know, running those early sectionals just inside of standard there, and the time overall is inside of standard. He has done a superb job once again to finish in second position. He's a very good horse in his own right, but yes, he just went a little bit too quick.
He certainly is very, very tough. And I think probably more so, Paul, the damage might have been done in that third split there. He tried to peg it back a little bit, but in the end, he's gone down swinging.
He has, and he was the best of the rest numbers. And look, if he had drawn lower, then it might have been a different story. But you know, Invincible Ibis was too good on the day. Did beat him. Look, Stormy Grove's showing that was no fluke last start as well with that third. So he's run well. And Petra Cosmo, he was making ground. It wasn't too good run from him as well, and the way he races, you wonder something like the Queen Mother might be a race for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So Frankie Law with the second and third placed runners there. Outside of that, Jenny, considering he went forward and was wide into that first turn, Seraph Gabriel far from disgraced out of that wide draw.
No, that was a really good performance from him. He had to work a little bit, didn't he? And he found again at the end of that race. So good performance stepping up to that distance for the first time. Pope Cody was noted making a little bit of ground. I thought Stormy Grove, we'll watch the replay, he might have just been a bit held up in the early part of the straight there. So for him to finish off in the way in which he did was a really strong performance. It's going to be a big celebration here. The Ibis Syndicate, they're all involved, well, most of them, or a lot of them, are involved in this Sheco Golf Club as well. And Daniel Zagal has had an interesting quote a little while ago.
Quote. I don't know if we can repeat that.
I think we have to now, don't we? You can say it.
Thanks. I'm sure if you find the article, you'll be able to read there. But the horse coming into the enclosure here now in front of his connections, and the racing fans are here. Mark Newnham, of course, the Ibis Syndicate. The reason why it's the Ibis Syndicate, because the Sheco link there, of course, the logo is an ibis.
Yes.
So hence where they get the name from there with the Ibis Syndicate, Paul. So they're going to have a lot of fun, these connections.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're all tied up with the Hong Kong club as well. I know Tony D'Souza, who's in the connections, he's the chairman of the Hong Kong club. So these guys have been friends for a long, long time. They've been racing horses. They deserve this. They're well-known Hong Kong racing identities. So there they are on screen with the horse Invincible Ibis. And Mark Newnham got a massive cheer when he walked in.
You can see Sam the Tailor down there as well, Nick.
Well, absolutely. There are plenty of people here and plenty that will be connected with the owners as well. But well done to Hugh. That's a third Derby. Quite incredible stuff. Obviously, one of the very best in the business is Hugh Bowman. Just spare a thought for Derek Leung. In his last 3 Derby rides, he's run 4th, 3rd, and now 2nd in the Derby.
Yeah, so he's come agonisingly close on a few occasions there, and Hugh Bowman is now off from those winning photos. So there is Daniel Zagal down there in the light blue suit. And what a moment this, Jenny, for Mark Newnham. Only his 3rd season training here, I think, from memory. Number 3, right? I think I'm
Well,
corrected.
he has made an impact from the moment he got here and started training horses. He's had great results. Wednesday night was just, he's never had 5 winners before. That happened Wednesday night. And now he's picked up one of the biggest races, and the race every owner wants to win here in Hong Kong, the BMW Hong Kong Derby of 2026, with a fabulous horse too. He's been so consistent.
He certainly has $26 million the purse here, and he takes home 56% of that, of just over 14 million, Nick. One we haven't spoken about yet. What happened to Little Paradise, do we know?
He was very keen early on.
He was.
As I saw him go past the post and around that first turn, he was rather keen and lit up. Probably couldn't quite, probably didn't get the position he desired really from 10. And I think maybe that was perhaps his undoing, is that he did just travel a bit strong in the early part and hasn't maybe perhaps seen it out as they would have hoped for.
Presentation not too far away from happening here in the parade ring. There's Brett Preble, who's on course here this afternoon, congratulating his good mate there, Hugh Bowman. And Hugh with a 3rd Derby, of course, Werther, and also Furore. Werther in 2016, Furore in 2019. And this, Jenny, was a horse that he committed to for the whole 4-year-old series without chopping and changing like can sometimes happen in these races.
Yeah, it certainly can. Well, of course, Zach had plenty to choose from as well. This being one of them, but Hugh was keen to stick with this horse, and for good reason. Well, he's been around a long time, hasn't he? He's a good judge, and he's a great rider too.
I think Mark was also keen just to have that continuity going through the series, because that's important, building a relationship with the horse and knowing your horse's strengths and characteristics, just to keep that momentum going forward. And he was probably a little unlucky in the Classic Mile as well.
Well, Hugh Bowman's such a big race rider, isn't he? He's won so many. He was on the Great Winks. He can handle the pressure of this. He can be very patient as well, and that's what he was today.
It's time to head to the presentation with Sarah Song and Nick Luck.
The BMW Hong Kong Derby Trophy presentation ceremony will now commence.
各位馬迷，2026年度寶馬香港打比大賽新一代強者啱啱誕生。呢一場4歲馬經典賽事系列嘅終極之戰，本地馬壇嘅至高榮譽係由白路金剛刷新全新打比紀錄，獲得冠軍嘅，恭喜晒
Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate the winning connections of Invincible Ibis, the BMW Hong Kong Derby winner of 2026.
而家我哋先有請我哋香港賽馬會嘅主席廖長江先生，將寶馬香港打比大賽嘅獎杯同埋馬年特別版嘅珍藏獎杯頒發俾我哋勝出頭馬白路金剛嘅馬主白路團體。而家主杯咧就係由 Mr. H 代表接受㗎。
And now the chairman of the Hong Kong Jockey Club, the Honourable Martin Liao, presents the BMW Hong Kong Derby Trophy and the specially commissioned Year of the Horse Edition Trophy to the winning owner, Nick Etches of the Ibis Syndicate.
咁跟住落嚟咧，我哋嘅馬年特別版珍藏獎杯咧就係由我哋嘅馬主代表接受嘅。
And Chairman, please also present the specially designed Year of the Horse Edition Trophy to the winning trainer. It is his first BMW Hong Kong Derby after 5 winners at Happy Valley on Wednesday. Mark Newnham, the Week of Weeks.
我哋嘅主席咧啱啱將我哋馬年特別版嘅珍藏獎杯咧頒發俾我哋勝出馬匹嘅練馬師廖康銘，亦都係佢贏取首場嘅打比啊！
Thank you, Chairman.
跟住落嚟，我哋繼續有請寶馬香港打比大賽，我哋嘅大使甄子丹先生就將另一隻馬年特別版嘅珍藏獎杯咧，就係頒發俾我哋勝出馬匹嘅騎師布文。
And now BMW's Hong Kong Derby ambassador, Mr. Donnie Yen, is presenting the specially designed Year of the Horse Edition Trophy to winning jockey, and it is his 3rd BMW Hong Kong Derby. Congratulations to Hugh Bowman.
唔該晒甄子丹先生 ，Thank you so much, Donnie。跟住落嚟，我哋咧係有請寶馬香港服務股份有限公司執行董事陳祖安先生致送紀念品俾我哋勝出頭馬白路金剛嘅馬主白路團體㗎。
And we now invite the Managing Director of BMW Hong Kong Services Limited, Mr. Raymond Tan, to present a souvenir to the winning owners, the Ibis Syndicate. Invincible Ibis was just that today, a dominant performance in the BMW Hong Kong Derby and in a race record time. The fastest ever BMW Hong Kong Derby in 149 runnings.
喺呢度唔該晒陳生 ，Thank you Mr. Tan。繼續我哋有請寶馬汽車香港有限公司香港及澳門董事總經理梁建新先生咧就致送紀念品俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅練馬師廖康明。
And the presentations keep coming. Managing Director Hong Kong and Macau BMW Concessionaires Hong Kong Limited, Mr. Ray Leung, is now presenting a souvenir to Mark Newnham.
唔該晒梁生 ，Thank you so much, Mr. Leung.
And now the Managing Director of Sign Motors, Mr. Andrew Basham, is going to present a souvenir to the winning rider, Hugh Bowman.
深南美汽車集團董事總經理貝旭漢先生咧，而家將我哋嘅紀念品頒發俾我哋勝出嘅騎師布文。Congratulations!
Well done again to Hugh. Thank you, Mr. Basham. And if I could invite all the guests to remain on stage for the traditional group photo.
我哋有請我哋咁多位嘅嘉賓繼續留步，一齊影張大合照。 Looking at all our media friends right here today at Sha Tin Racecourse in the parade ring. And all our race goers here for the Hong Kong Derby. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulate the many members of the IBIS syndicate, many of whom have given years of service to the Hong Kong Jockey Club. A truly special day for all concerned.
再次恭喜晒白路金剛力壓群雄，成為我哋今年寶馬香港打比大賽嘅盟主啊！我哋嘅頒獎儀式嚟到呢度已經係圓滿結束，而家我哋有請勝出嘅馬主、練馬師同埋騎師一齊登上寶馬，開篷跑車巡遊，接受大家嘅祝賀。
And Sarah, there is one final element to this victory, and that is the victory parade, courtesy of our sponsors here, BMW, 14 consecutive BMW Hong Kong Derbies, extending our thanks to BMW once again on behalf of the Hong Kong Jockey Club. And the owners, perhaps not all 25 of the IBIS syndicate, the trainer Mark Newnham and jockey Hugh Bowman are going to parade in the BMW convertibles.
A tradition that cannot be missed. 好，提大家啦！寶馬香港打比大賽馬年嘅黃金大抽獎結果咧，將會喺今日5點前咧就透過手機短信啦，又或者電話通知得獎者嘅。而得獎者咧就要喺今日嘅6點半之前去到我哋平台廣場親身領獎嘅。記得要留意你哋嘅手機啦。
Here we are then, Hugh Bowman, Mark Newnham, Nick Hetches doing the honours on behalf of the IBIS syndicate in the BMW convertibles for the winners parade. BMW Hong Kong Derby Year of the Horse Golden Lucky Draw winners will be contacted by SMS or phone today at 5 p.m. and all prizes must be redeemed in person by 6:30 at the public concourse, so keep an eye out for the notification at 5 p.m.
Great scenes here at Sha Tin following the 149th BMW Hong Kong Derby. There are the connections on the tour around the parade ring here in the BMW convertibles here. Hugh Bowman in behind as well, waving it to the crowd. One of the owners sitting up at the back there, Daniel Zagal, down on the inside there, and these connections, Paul, as Nick Luck pointed out in the trophy presentation, they're long-time supporters of racing here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, they are. They put a lot into it, so it's good to see them get something out here, definitely. And they've got onwards and upwards. I wonder what they'll do with him now. Will he kick on to the QE2 Cup? That's normally apart from Derby winners. They go on to the QE2 Cup next and take on the international horses. But a strong win. Had the pace to suit. Hugh Bowman, a very patient rider, had him in the perfect spot, and as such, a very impressive win here from Invincible Riders.
Indeed, and there is Hugh Bowman, and he's sitting second on the Jockeys Championship table. Nick is Hugh, and teams up here with Mark Newnham for an incredible result all round.
It absolutely is, yeah, and it's a wonderful result for Hugh. He's actually now ridden the 3 Derby winners, of course. He joins Gerald Mosse, who won 3. So too Douglas White, of course, now in situ as a trainer, and Tony Cruz, also an absolute legend of our sport here in Hong Kong. So it's an illustrious group of riders and former riders that have won this magnificent race 3 times. And as Jenny mentioned there beforehand, he is just the big race rider, isn't he, J.H. Bowman?
Yep, he certainly is. And the biggest race here on the calendar in Hong Kong. Obviously, the international races are the special in their own right, but this is the race that's
it's
all
different, though, isn't it?
This is the race that they all want to win. You can have obviously connections that are looking for horse, and trainers approach connections and say, well, we've got this horse. The first question the owners ask back is this a Derby horse?
Well, that's what Paul said at the top of the programme, you know, is that they go searching for these horses and they pay big money for them. You know, obviously there aren't many opportunities. There's one. So the fact that they're willing to go out and find these horses at big prices is testament to being the race they want to win. Let's have a look back at it now. From the start, then off they go, and well, from the outside, Numbers was quickly into stride. You can see Dazzling Fit going back in the early part. Little Paradise in the lilac jacket is keen towards the rear. Sagacious Life prominent. Little Junu Pride also front rank to the outside. That's Seraph Gabriel with his gold cap emblazoned following those. So that's the first 5 or 6. The winner, that's him in behind, black and white jacket, being followed by the pink sleeves of Beauty Bolt. Regal Gem towards the inside, Patch of Cosmo further back. Little Paradise still keen towards the outside for Vincent from his wide draw. Dazzling Fit in the blue and black. Towards the rear is the Classic Cup winner Stormy Grove, and last of all is Pope Cody in the red and white as they turn on down the back. And it's numbers here, Jenny, who is leading, from Serif Gabriel in second. Sagacious Life, the winner. Huey's got him lovely and settled, back in about 6th place here.
Isn't he there? And he's just enjoying a really nice ride. He'd drawn well, and he's made good use of that, just being able to get some cover and just try and get his horse to relax. The leader is Numbers. He was a little bit keen in the early stages there, but he's actually going along quite nicely now. The time is overall inside of standard, so it's been a very swiftly run derby. The horse looked to be going, travelling nicely at the back of the field. Keep an eye on Pope Cody. He actually makes up some late ground. And on his inside is the horse that ends up running third. That's Stormy Grove. So he's stuck in behind a few there. He's probably got a little bit of a hard luck story because he runs on very strongly to finish in 3rd position. As I turn in the straight, Numbers still leading. Now Hugh's just got to find some clear running, which he does very easily. He gets to the middle part of the track here, asks him for an effort, goes past Juno Pride, and he has got plenty in reserve. Numbers gives a really good fight. He does fight on very gamely towards the end, and here comes Stormy Grove down the outside as well. So a solid performance from him too. But congratulations to all concerned with the winner in Invincible Ibis.
Absolutely. Good, strong win in the end. Huey with the whip aloft, and he goes on to win the derby. There's Beauty Bolt. And last in was Emblazoned, who was stepping up in trip here. Just found it all too hot, Tom.
Yep, just might want to check this Stewards report on a couple of those, particularly Emblazoned, but they have weighed in following the BMW Hong Kong Derby. I think that a quarter a short head, race record time as well, 1:59.43. So they certainly went along at a strong gallop. Waiting on the rest of the divvies to come through. We're probably going to have a slight delay here to race number 8 on the program. There's the sectional times: 25.51 standard, 25.95, 23.75 standard, 23.9, 23.32 standard, 23.9. Quick there again, 23.44. Backed it off a little, 23.55 and 23.41 on the way home outside standard, 23.2. 1:59.43 standard is 2 minutes, 0.50. Moving to race number 8, Class 3.